So here in the Western Division of Fiji, the weather is quite benign. We have missed the worst of the weather, and the focus really is on the north and the east of the country. In Nadi here, it stopped raining several hours ago. Winds have abated significantly, and the weather is a little humid and steamy, but otherwise not too bad at all.
I understand, though, there is a power outage. How extensive is that, and which areas is it affecting?
So my understanding is that the the electricity folks in Fiji here have shut down power as a precaution prior to the commencement of the destructive winds. And so right now, most of the main island of Fiji is without power as part of a planned shutdown. There is parts of the country with power who are near local diesel-powered stations, such as around the airport here in Nadi and also around Suva. But for the most part, power is off.
How does the strength of Yasa compare to Cyclone Winston in 2016, which killed dozens and left thousands homeless?
Yes, that's a good question. And the short answer to that is that it's as strong, possibly slightly stronger. Certainly as it approached Fiji, it was one of the strongest cyclones up there with Winston that I've seen in this region. The sustained winds near the centre were estimated to be around about 250 kilometres per hour. That's average winds over 10 minutes. And there were gusts of around 350 kilometres per hour. So as you can imagine, that's pretty brutal.
So how is the storm likely to progress in the coming hours, and which areas do you think will bear the brunt of it?
So we've been quite lucky, I would venture to say, in as much as it approached Fiji from the northwest and crossed the westernmost tip of the second main island, Nadraki, earlier this evening, just on sunset, about 6:30, 7 o'clock local time. And it's now progressing across that island and is expected to shortly pop out over water again south of Nadraki in an area, the Koro Sea, it's called. It's a very shallow area, a lagoon of water that is quite warm. So we expect that as it crosses the island, it will lose a little bit of intensity. From there, it's going to progress southward and stay. We expect around early morning, so about 8 o'clock local time, the centre would be about 200 odd kilometres, perhaps a little more, to the east of Suva.
Well, it seems like still a few hours out from what could possibly be the worst of the storm, yet on social media we're already seeing floods, fallen trees, roads blocked by landslides. How are residents coping under the circumstances?
So those images are coming from Nadraki, the western part of that island, and also some of the far northern Yasa island groups, which is another pretty remote part of the country. These are relatively unpopulated regions, but certainly those people who are in that area, the situation will be absolutely devastating. The winds are extremely dangerous. The flooding would be, it's still raining and raining heavily, and that will continue for at least another 12 hours or more. So for those in the direct path, it is going to be phenomenal.
It really does sound frightening, Neville. This will be the second cyclone Fiji has seen during the pandemic. Harold hit in April this year. How much more difficult is it to prepare for such severe weather amid a pandemic?
Yes, look, Fiji's been blessed with having minimal pandemic transmission of COVID. The numbers here are measured in the tens and the deaths in single figures. So we don't have a lot of COVID concerns insofar as transmission amongst the community. But of course, the COVID impacts in Fiji are different in that it's devastated our economy already, and it's also meant that many local people are suffering severe financial hardship. But the economy is going to be what really hurts after this.
Well, our thoughts are with everyone in Fiji right now. Neville Koop, thanks so much for taking the time to talk to us. We really appreciate it.
You're welcome. Thank you.